Hey everybody, we're live at the Paste Studio right now in New York with Lee Tasjan. Lee Tasjan, it's great to see you again, man. Thanks for doing it.
Man, thanks so much for having me again.
Yeah, man, I think we may have hosted you in every iteration of this studio. I know last time we were in that big black box with the red curtains downstairs with the full band, and now here we are in the tape room, the vibiest of all the rooms, I think, so we're stoked to have you here, and we're going to hear music, man. You're doing at least three today, maybe four if the mood strikes. We'll see what happens, and the three at least are going to be from Karma for Cheap Reincarnated, which came out a year to the day from when Karma for Cheap came out. And what are we going to hear first from Reincarnated?
We're going to do Heart Slows Down. Television psychic says you should have seen it coming. The dealer's dirty fingers are reaching for your money. Your bones just rattle like a dropped tambourine, and everything said is a little bit funny. You called out the instigator, but you never heard a thing. It's just busted wood and broke piano strings. Honey, if your heart slows down, honey, if your heart slows down, I will always be around. I will always be around. Honey, if your heart slows down. Will you keep going back to all you've destroyed, till it washes you out from the river of joy? Revolver plays over the thoughts in your head, and paths to forgiveness you tried to employ. So take all your old tomorrows and find the worst to use, 'cause every precious thing must bend and bruise. Honey, if your heart slows down, honey, if your heart slows down, I will always be around. I will always be around. Honey, if your heart slows down. The record is ending as you turn away, bored of the ashes you left in the tray, lazy like smoke that hangs in the air, as easy to see through and fading away. So don't you disbelieve it, we all live in this world alone, on doctors, drugs, just staring at your Jesus phone. Yeah. Honey, if your heart slows down, honey, if your heart slows down, I will always be around. I will always be around. Honey, if your heart slows down.
Yes. Thank you, dude. That sounds wonderful. And this arrangement sounds wonderful in every arrangement I've ever heard it played. So thanks for doing it this way in the tape room today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. And the internet immediately Billy Sale of the internet immediately says, such a badass. Like Tom Petty and Roy Orbison had a badass offspring. So wonderful. Good comment. We're off to a great internet start. Thank you.
It's nice to know people are drinking in the morning, isn't it?
I think we've probably had the musical influence conversation. This room tends to be an easy place to talk about it. And we're surrounded literally by Roy Orbison and Tom Petty and Jeff Lynne tapes. And that's what's on the wall behind you. Cool. But I feel like I would like to know more about your playlist. Like, what are you listening to right now? What are some contemporary artists that are doing it for you? And what were you listening to on the way over here this morning?
Oh gosh. Well, we started out with Lily Hyatt this morning.
Outstanding. New West label mate, right?
Yeah, actually, that's very true. I always forget that. But she's just a favorite of mine. Has been for a long time.
Me too.
And her new songs are really knocking me out. What did we listen to after that? Oh, we listened to Eliminator by ZZ Top.
Nice. Dude, Billy Gibbons did one of these.
Did he really?
Yes, sir.
Man. Well, I'm glad that mine's not right after his. But
Gene Simmons is coming in on Monday.
That's perfect.
Maybe.
I mean, we all remember Kiss Unplugged, so.
Yeah.
But it's I guess I've been listening to Eliminator because that new Sturgill Simpson record kind of reminds me of Eliminator in certain ways. Like it sort of has some of the same kind of super dancey beats over this kind of like very Americana, like rock and roll guitar-based music, and then Sturgill's voice, immediately makes all that sound super original, just because he sings the way he sings. But I kind of like music that's like that. Like in a lot of ways, I guess all of my favorite stuff is kind of genreless in a way, if you will, or is kind of genre hopping, I guess. But those tend to be like all my favorite people, Richard Swift and Elliott Smith and that kind of stuff.
Nice. So I've got one for you. We had, being a lover also of Sturgill's voice. You've got it's on one particular song. It's an Irish singer-songwriter, Foy Vance. This guy, he's got a fucking tremendous mustache. And that song, "I Was Born," that he recorded in Memphis. I'm pretty sure they did it at Sun Records. It's just like it sort of phases in and out of being reminiscent of Sturgill's voice. It's still wholly originally Foy Vance's song, but it's outstanding. So
Foy is such a good writer.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm really glad I asked you that question because that reminds me of things that I need to be listening to. And the internet, the same guy who said "What a Badass" says Gabe Lee is someone y'all should check into. And I'm not familiar with that artist, but now we are. So Billy Sale, thank you for the recommendation. Dude, there's a lot more music. You're gonna do another one from Reincarnated. What's coming up next?
Yeah, I'm gonna do. Let me get this back in tune here. I'm gonna do the very first track off of that record, which is, interestingly enough, the very last track on the original album. It's a song called Songbird, and it's just kind of like, a lot of these songs are kind of just messages to myself, really, to just hang on and keep going. And this song is probably the most pronounced version of that lyrically on the record. But I'm also like, I also always write those songs like thinking of all my friends that are probably out driving their van around and like hoping that, if they're feeling down or whatever, that maybe somehow this song, the energy of this song, like makes it through the windshield of their van or through the through the straw of their Slurpee into their body. So this one's called Songbird. One more day till I'm taking a walk. One more night where I can't even talk. One more night on these dirty sheets, all wrapped up and ill at ease. One more singer they love to hate. One more thought that I can't escape. One more ghost in the doorway waits to haunt my dreams and seal my fate. There's a songbird singing, I'm laying on the floor. Something feels right that has never felt right before. Christmas bells are ringing, here comes the girl next door. Something feels right that has never felt right before. One more dream I will put to rest. You can't hold everything to your chest. Your mind will wander, your heart will ache, your back will break and your hands will shake. 'Cause one more guy will say something strange. Your ride to the high road is out of range. Don't let the thing that kills you inside throw your worst into overdrive. There's a songbird singing, I'm laying on the floor. Something feels right that has never felt right before. Christmas bells are ringing, here comes the girl next door. Something feels right that has never felt right before. One more soon to be has been smiles. In anyone's shoes you can walk for miles. Then one day a strap on your own and find you have to walk alone. There's a songbird singing, I'm laying on the floor. Something feels right that has never felt right before. Christmas bells are ringing, and here comes the girl next door. Something feels right that has never felt right before. Something feels right that has never felt right before. Thank you.
Thank you, man. It sounds great. So I think we'll do an instrumentation change. We've got one happening on piano, so
Yes.
I will draw out my next question, as you will not have a microphone in
Awesome.
front of you for the next 30 seconds or so. So for everybody who is, if anybody is becoming familiar with this project for the first time right now, Karma for Cheap came out in 2018. Karma for Cheap Reincarnated came out a year to the day from the release of the first version of it. They're all completely re-recorded, reimagined, and that is about what I know about it. I'm sure that you can explain much more eloquently what this is all about and why it occurred to you to present these songs in this way, because it's,
For sure.
from what I've read on the internet, it is quite well thought out, and I would imagine that you can say it much more eloquently starting now. Nice. Well, that was
Absolutely.
really well executed.
Yeah,
Changeover.
I thought we nailed it. Yeah, I think it's so funny how, and I've talked to other songwriters about this, so I don't feel as paranoid as I usually would in saying something like this, but I think this happens sometimes or a lot of the time even, where you sort of write a song and maybe you have an idea in your mind of what it's about, but then you sort of, as you go on sort of playing the song and performing the song and all that, like after it's been recorded, like sometimes only then do you really start to understand what it's actually about. And on the Karma for Cheap record, that was kind of all the way around. Like I could explain my records really simply. Like In the Blazes is kind of like the part of me that like wants to fit in, you know. Silver Tears was kind of like the part of me that like always wants to do something like new and fresh.
Wear a disco ball suit.
And I think Karma for Cheap is the part of me that's like arrogant enough to think that like I can figure it out, you know, and figure out like what those things should be. And I don't say that like I don't think it's a bad record, because at the end of the day, I believed it, you know, I believed that I did have it figured out, you know, and I think you have to believe in yourself, like even if you're kind of making yourself up, you know?
Yeah,
So, you know, I think what happened was as time went on, like I started to realize that those songs kind of meant something different to me than when I had first written them. And the idea of recording them sort of more like I had written them in my bedroom, basically, sort of became the idea of the Karma Reincarnated record. You know, let me just show people sort of how these songs really feel to me now that I've had a chance to like get some distance from them and figure out like what they mean to me personally. But I love both records, and I'm really proud of both records, and I'm grateful that New West let me put both records out. Probably a lot of people would have been like, "That's a terrible idea. We're not going to do it."
Yeah.
But God bless them, they let me do it. So.
Dude, well, I'm glad they're both out in the world. And I mean, just the self-awareness on your part to represent it as arrogance on your part, that all of a sudden means it's not arrogance. If you're self-aware enough to call it that, I mean, that just reads as some level of confidence. And it's nice to, on our part from the Paste Studios, to have witnessed the this arc of every album you put out. I've been enjoying them immensely. You're one of my favorite songwriters, man. I really very much enjoy it, and I'm stoked that you're here today. And we'll stay tuned for whatever happens next. And very soon happening next is more music right now from Reincarnated. What's coming up third today?
I'm gonna do. On the Karma for Cheap record, there was one song that was almost completely acoustic already, called Dream Dreamer. And so I thought, rather than doing another acoustic version of that one, I would do one of the ones that I wish had made it onto Karma for Cheap, but we just couldn't get the right version of it. And lo and behold, I think the best version of it is just the sort of, you know, guy at the piano kind of a version. So I'll do that one for you. This is called My Whole Life Is Over All Over Again, for better or worse. Summer has surrendered. The boys are back in town. The kids are going crazy, and the deal is going down. And I'd have to be a liar to say you never crossed my mind, 'cause I thought of you a shit ton when I was doing time. I got beat down by the system, I got picked up by my folks, I got drunk instead of crying. It's my favorite little hoax. This year the poetry was sloppy. This year everybody died. America the beautiful, God's no longer on your side. I finally got it where I want it, and there's no need to pretend. And my whole life is over, all over again. Well, love is still the answer to a question never posed. All dressed up for the letdown in a dirty pair of clothes. I fell in love so many times today, and no one knew but me. I'm a terrible secret keeper. When there's secrets I must keep. So if I tell you one, please promise, as I promise this to you, that a promise is a freak show, and I'm a freak show too. And freaks, though sometimes kept and put upon display, are often also broken in their funny little way. I where I want it, and there's no need to pretend. And my whole life is over, all over again. So roll another number, 'cause what else can you do when there's a pistol of opinions and it's pointing right at you? And though I never see it coming and feel foolish in the dark, oh, my eyes will often wander till I know it in my heart. Oh, my mind is full of games, and I haven't got the touch. I think I don't know anything. I know I think too much, and it's a good fight that I'm fighting, but God knows what I'm fighting for. The kind of battle hymns I've written have all been sung before. Finally got it where I wanted, and there's no need to pretend. And my whole life is over, all over again. My whole life is over, all over again.
All right. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. I've got a good crowd on the internet right now. Hong Kong is here. Arkansas is here. We've got a very international crowd.
My favorite.
Macy says, "Hey, Aaron, it's Macy. I'm sick at home watching live. Sorry I couldn't see you play last night, but she's tuned in right now." So,
Hi, Maisie. I love your drumming.
yeah, we've got that. That's happening, dude. Deuce Allen, there's a Songbird singing in New York that wants to go to the ALT show tonight in Brooklyn, but it's sold out. Dude, Deuce, you just show up. Go to the door. Figure something out. There's a way in. There's always a way in. But
we'll
that's a
sneak
good
in.
sign, man. It's a good problem to have. This is sold out tonight at Music Hall of Williamsburg with Not a Surf. You're sold out tomorrow night at the Sinclair. There is a show at the Sinclair with
Yes.
Not a Surf tomorrow night. You've got a lot of fun stuff happening. The Kayamo cruise starts on February 3rd, so that'll be outstanding. Those 6-man cruises are nothing but the best.
So fun.
And then back here, you're at Rockwood Music Hall, part of the 15-year anniversary celebration. There are like 400 artists or something. There's a massive, massive lineup. It's part of the 15-year anniversary celebration festival at Rockwood. You're part of it, so that's
Super
February
honored to be a part of that.
26th, I think. I didn't write it down. That sounds true, but it's all up
I
at
think
Aaron.
that's right.
Yeah.
That sounds very correct.
AaronLeeTasjan.com. So there are a lot of opportunities. If you're not able to make it into Music Hall tonight, there are opportunities abounding to see you live. And so hopefully everyone's checking it out on the internet is also able to check it out in reality. And what are we doing, man? What do you feel like doing for the rest of the afternoon?
Oh, gosh. Well, it's New York, so I think we'll probably just head over to Katz's Deli and eat one of those, get whatever Meg Ryan had in the movie.
Yeah.
And, and then...
See how many people say that they're going to have what you're having?
Yeah. Go over to CBGB's and buy a $7,000 jacket.
Perfect, man.
Just
Sounds
like the old days.
Perfect New York afternoon. Yeah. Well, I mean, do you want to do those things right this second, or do you want to play more music right this second?
Hey, I'll play you one more.
Outstanding.
I'll try you a new one. I've been working on a new record. It's been a really fun experience working on this record because I've been kind of doing it in between tours and stuff like that. I've been working on it for a little over a year now, but it's been a really great experience because I've never really had the opportunity to do it that way. And I've been like writing like 2 or 3 songs and then going in the next day and recording them, which is really the most exciting thing for me. I mean, to me, that I don't know if it's true or not, but like that's what a song like Dock of the Bay sounds like. It sounds like Otis Redding walked in and was like, "Hey man, like I don't know, I wrote this song last night. Like, what do you guys think of this one?" And then they tracked it, you know.
On Bill Graham's doc, I found out recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man, it was his
Bill
houseboat
Graham.
in Sausalito.
He continues to, you know, he's not just one of the most brilliant promoters of all time. He also owned the doc that birthed one of the greatest songs in the history of American music. God bless him.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I'll try this one for you. This one's called Sunday Women. I got really excited about this song when the label called me up and said, "What is a Sunday woman?" Because I guess they were kind of perplexed, but we'll see what you guys think a Sunday woman is, I guess. Sunday women are hard to find. Sunday women don't break hearts like mine. And when you're with them, the stars align. Whatever happened to Sunday women? Whatever happened to Sunday women? All I wanted was to dream with you. And make one of our dreams come true. And now I sit here with the Monday blues. Whatever happened to Sunday women? 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 Ooh. Got to get the John Tesh ending on there. That's very important.
Man. Dude, that sounded great. Thank you for the 3 from Karma for Cheap Reincarnated. Thank you for the new song. This is excellent, man. This is a great way to ease into the weekend. Have a great show at Music Hall of Williamsburg tonight. That's with Nada Surf. The Sinclair and Cambridge Mass tomorrow, also with Nada Surf. And then you're back here in New York at Rockwood for the 15-year anniversary celebration, February 26th. Very likely I'll see you at that one. And dude, travel safely and visit us whenever it makes sense for you. And all of your travel details are up at AaronLeeTasjan.com. This has been great, man. Enjoy the rest of your Friday.
Thank you, Pace. I love you guys.